I'm ready. Hello, everyone, and welcome into Dairyland League Baseball here on Zaleski Sports. My name is Cale Jacoby alongside Jada Hamblin doing the production for us tonight. As today we have the Marshfield Chaparrals taking on the Minocqua Wood Ducks. Marshfield comes in at 5-2 in the Dairyland League, and Minocqua comes in at 6-2. Marshfield is coached by Luke Wirtz, and Minocqua coached by Tom Lorenzen. As we get set to get underway here at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield, Wisconsin. As again, the Marshfield Chaparrals take on the Minocqua Wood Ducks. And it'll be Minocqua at the plate to start out, Marshfield out in the field to start things off. And as we're going to get warmed up and ready to go here, we will take a quick break and be right back with starting lineups right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Get a jump start on college or speed up your degree with a transferable class from Mid-State Technical College this summer. There are 130 classes to choose from, online or in person, taught by instructors who are experts in their field. Get info on the Mid-State Technical College summer classes at mstc.edu.
Ball worked around higher, launches a three, got it.
So a good win for Mosinee tonight.
Ty Pankratz picks it. Simone at first in time, and the Stratford Tigers are state champions.
The Wisconsin Rapids Assumption Royals are your Division V state champions.
Jamal Williams, Jay Slag Daddy, first Slag Kazakage, letting y'all know, running back from Green Bay Packers, that I am in the house.
At Superior High School, where we have a beautiful facility, artificial turf. This ballpark, relatively new, built.
You belong in your home!
I'm in the house.
Today's broadcast for the Eau Claire North Huskies, number 2, averaging 22.2 points per game. 3:22 into the game, and we see Whitewater's Ken Larson make his way in for the touchdown. And we have with us former Amherst Falcon, former Wisconsin Badger, Tyler Biadish. Tyler, thanks for joining us.
Welcome back, everybody, as we will go through the starting lineups for each side here tonight. Again, it will be Minocqua at the plate to start off. Leading off for Minocqua is center fielder Nate Hopkins, and at the 2 spot, it's pitcher Josh Randolph. At the 3 spot, shortstop Wally Augustine, and at the 4 spot, it is right fielder Peter Arts. At the 5 spot, third baseman Dakota C. And at the 6, it is center fielder Danny Biertzer. At the 7 spot, left fielder Trevor Roschewski. At the 8 spot, first baseman Zach Peterson. And batting 9th is second baseman Sam Johnson. And out in the field to start off for the Marshfield Chaparrals, on the mound will be Caleb Kromanocker. And catching for the Chaparrals will be Sean O'Connell. And at first base, it is Luke Wirtz. At second, Jason Kurth. Over at shortstop, it is Will Lee. And at third base, it is Isaiah Byrel. And out in left field for the Chaparrals is Riley Bouchak. And in center field, it is Nathan Kromanocker. And out in right field for Marshfield, it is Garrett Huber. But again, as we get set to go here for Marshfield Chaparrals baseball taking on the Minocqua Wood Ducks. And again, Marshfield coming in at 5-2 and Minocqua coming in at 6-2. Again, Marshfield coached by Luke Wirtz and Minocqua coached by Tom Lorenzen. Again, as we get set to go, National Anthem will be on shortly. We're going to take another quick break and be right back with the start of this one right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, switch to US Cellular and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G, plus no activation fees. so you can stream, capture, and post without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Northside Computers is Marshfield's U.S. Cellular store.
Moving ahead with the summer tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Center through July 2nd. Up to $150 in rebates on Goodyear tires with a Goodyear credit card subject to credit approval. The summer tire event at Sherrill Tire. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken of Marshfield has been voted Best Pizza in Marshfield 12 years in a row. With popular choices like broccoli, bacon, cheese, drunken chicken, or any of the 25 specialty pizzas, Scotty's is ready to earn your vote now at 715-384-8118. Choose Scotty's for pizza, chicken, subs, sandwiches, and more. Carry out, dine-in, and delivery. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, 715-384-8118. Citizen State Bank of Loyal is your independently owned community bank with locations just a short drive or walk from where you work and live. Citizen State Bank of Loyal invites you to a banking relationship that will always put you first. Personal, business, and agricultural services provided by people that live just across town and around the corner. At Citizen State Bank of Loyal, we pride ourselves in our involvement in the communities we serve. See us today in Neilsville, Marshfield, Spencer, Granton, and Loyal. Citizen State Bank of Loyal, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start here at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield, Wisconsin. As again, it will be the Minocqua Wood Ducks up to bat first. And on the mound for Marshfield is Caleb Kromanocker. Marshfield coming off a loss to DC Everest Friday night. That was at DC Everest by a score of 3-2. Marshfield lost that one. But again, out in the field for Marshfield on the mound, Caleb Kromanocker. Catching, Sean O'Connell. At first, it's Luke Wirtz. At second, it's Jason Kurth. At short, it's Will Lee. At third, it's Isaiah Byrell. And in left field, it's Riley Bouchak. In center, Nathan Kromanocker. And in right field, it is Garrett Huber for the Marshfield Chaparrals. And we get set to start here, and leading off for the Minocqua Wood Ducks is Nate Hopkins, the center fielder. Hopkins wearing the number 57 for the Minocqua Wood Ducks. And Wood Ducks coached by Tom Lorenzen, and the Chaparrals coached by Luke Wirtz. Again, Marshall coming in at 5-2, and Minocqua at 6-2 in the Dairyland League. Has a couple final pitches from Caleb Kromanocker. As we're just about set to get underway here at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield, Wisconsin. And again, leading off for the Minocqua Wood Ducks will be center fielder Nate Hopkins. Hopkins, the left-handed batter for Minocqua. And Minocqua in their green jerseys with the white numbers with orange outlining and white lettering with the orange outlining as well. White pants. And first pitch from Kromanocker is a called strike.
First pitch, 138.
So now the 0-1 count to Hopkins. Marshfield in their tan uniforms, gold. And that one shot out into deep center field from Hopkins, and it'll be caught out there in center field for out number one, as it's Nathan Kromanocker out there in center with the snag. And it's 1 up and 1 down thus far in the top of the first, as Hopkins pops out to center. And now up to the 2 spot in the order with pitcher Josh Randolph. Randolph, the right-handed batter. Again, the Chaparrals in the goldish tan uniforms, shirts and pants, red numbers, navy hats, and pitch 1 to Randolph is a ball. Now the 1-0 count to Josh Randolph. Nobody on and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Pitch on the way. That one swung on, shot out into deep left field, and it hits the wall, and it's going to be a double for Josh Randolph. So Randolph gets things started for the Wood Ducks.
Wally Augustine.
So Randolph at second. Now we're up to the 3 spot in the order with shortstop Wally Augustine. Augustine wearing the number 24 for Minocqua. The right-handed batter is Augustine. As Kromanocker on the pitch. That one swung on, hit out into right center, and caught by Nathan Kromanocker out there in center field once again for out number 2. So Augustine pops out to center. And that takes us to the 4 spot in the order with right fielder Peter Arts. Arts wearing the number 6 for the Minocqua Wood Ducks. As we'll have a runner at second with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. As Kromanocker checks over to second, now throws, and that's inside for ball 1. So the 1-0 count to Peter Arts. So again, it's Caleb Kromanocker on the mound for the Marshfield Chaparrals. And the pitch on the way, that is a called strike. As the count evens up at 1-1 to Peter Arts. So he's got a runner at second and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And the pitch on the way, that one is a called strike. So the 1-2 count to Arts. Runner at second, 2 outs, pitch on the way, and that's a ball. Now the count evens up at 2-2 to Peter Arts. Again, runner at second, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. We're tied at 0 here early on in this one. And Kromanocker peeks over to second a few times. And now time called by Arts at the plate. As it's the 2-2 count to Peter Arts. That's Caleb Kromanocker on the mound. And he winds and throws. That's a swing and a miss from Peter Arts. As Arts goes down swinging for out number 3 here in the top of the first inning. As we are tied at 0 after a half inning of play, we will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right here on Zaleski Sports right after this.
Find what you want in a new summer ride? Settling for good enough just to have it now? Wait, don't settle. Herbs and Tomahawk and Power Pack in Marshfield have the solution. Custom order. Get exactly what you want by building your customized ride with us, and we'll place a special order with a manufacturer. That means the color you want, the package you need, and the new ride you deserve. Plus parts packages and financing packages with gear included. Herbs and Tomahawk and Power Pack in Marshfield. Don't settle. Get your custom order in today.
Or just do Minocqua Wood Ducks at Marshfield Chaparrals, or don't include the name. ARALS. 2 P's. AR. All right. I would put Dairyland League baseball. Just put like a dash. Here, do this. This is usually what I do for highlights, and then yeah. Because I don't think we have that separator button on here. Maybe we do. Oh, might be right there, but yeah, it doesn't matter. No. That looks good.
Seriously, you should see the prizes on the table up here. I'm about ready to just start taking stuff out of here. No, I ain't been drinking yet.
Are we? Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the bottom of the first inning. Marshfield tied with Minocqua at 0s here early on.
Well, it's good that you get sponsors like that. I mean, those are the guys that like that. Because those are the ones that when you start seeing that on the fucking, that's like Hillary said, how many people come out and that Phil gives away so much like that.
Again, we're tied at 0s here, and the Chaparrals will be up to bat.
Isaiah Byro.
And leading off for the Marshfield Chaparrals is third baseman Isaiah Byrell. Byrell wearing the number 2 for the Chaparrals, and the pitch on the way. That is a called strike. As on the mound for Minocqua is Josh Randolph, and the pitch 2 on the way. That one's high for ball 1. And the count evens up at 1-1 to Isaiah Byrell. Pitch 3 on the way, and that is a called ball. So now the count is 2-1 to Isaiah Byrell. And pitch on the way. That's swung on. That'll be a single for Isaiah Byrell. So it's Byrell with the base hit to get things started for the Marshfield Chaparrals here in the bottom of the first inning. And that takes us to the 2 spot in the order with center fielder Nathan Kromanocker. Kromanocker, the left-handed batter for Marshfield. As Randolph on the mound and Kromanocker at the plate. Pitch on the way. That one bunted and popped foul from Kromanocker for strike 1. Count now 0-1 to Nathan Kromanocker. Again, a runner at first and no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. We're tied at 0. And Randolph on the mound. He sets and he throws, and that's an inside pitch that will allow Byrell to steal second, as it was Danny Biertzer just not quite able to hang on to that one. As it's Byrell over at second now, and the 1-1 count to Nathan Kromanocker. And the pitch on the way. That one is inside for ball 2, and it's now 2-1 the count to Kromanocker. The 2-1 count, runner at second, and no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch is high and away for ball 3, and it's quickly 3-1 now to Kromanocker. With a runner at second, it's Byrell over there at second for the Chaparrals. And Randolph on the mound on the pitch. That's one swung on out into center field, and it will fall for a base hit. As Kromanocker with the base hit, it sends Byrell to third. Now we have runners at the corners for pitcher Caleb Kromanocker.
Caleb Kromanocker.
And Caleb Kromanocker wearing the number 18 for the Chaparrals, the left-handed batter, Caleb Kromanocker. As again, we have runners at the corners. As Chaparrals have started off with back-to-back base hits to start off here in the bottom of the first. And the pitch on the way, that's an inside pitch for ball 1. And the count now 1-0 to Caleb Kromanocker. So the 1-0 count, runners at the corners with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Pitch on the way, that is a called strike. The count now evens up at 1-1 to Caleb Kromanocker. And runners at first and third. No outs. Randolph on the pitch. And that one swung on, popped up in to left center. And it drops. So it will be a double for Kromanocker that scores a run. So an RBI double for Caleb Kromanocker, which scores Isaiah Byrell for run number 1.
Luke Wirtz.
So now we have runners at third and second for first baseman Luke Wirtz, number 5 for the Chaparrals. Pitch on the way again. Marshfield now leading 1-0 as Wirtz watches a strike go by. So it was Kromanocker with the RBI double that brings in Byrell, and now Luke Wirtz with a swing and a miss, and the count now 0-2 to Wirtz. Again, runners at second and third. Marshfield now up on Minocqua 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning, still with no outs. And pitch 3 on the way. That one swung on and grounded over to short. Throw to home is not in time, and he is safe. So the throw a little high to home, and it's Nathan Kromanocker crossing the plate for run number 2, and Wirtz is going to reach first on the fielder's choice. And it's Kromanocker staying at second. So Marshfield now up 2-0 here in the first inning. And now up to bat is second baseman Jason Kurth. Kurth was our Highlight House player of the game last week Sunday when the Marshfield Chaparrals took on the Pittsville River Bandits in Pittsville. Now there's runners at first and second with no outs for Jason Kurth. And that one grounded foul down the first base line. 0-1 the count to Kurth. So the 0-1 count, Marshfield up 2-0 early on. Still no outs here with runners at first and second. And Kurth faces the 0-1 count. Pitch on the way. That one swung on, grounded over to third and through the glove. It's just under the glove of third baseman Dakota C. So that one through the gap. I think we'll give Kurth the infield hit.
Now batting number 8, Riley.
And now the bases are loaded for left fielder Riley Bouchak. So the base is loaded, and now we'll have a meeting on the mound between Randolph and Biertzer. As Biertzer and Randolph talk things over again, the bases are loaded with no outs. Marshfield's already put up 2 runs here in the bottom of the first, as they are firing on all cylinders here in the first inning. As in 5 batters, we've had 4 hits, and Wirtz has reached as well on a fielder's choice. But now it's left fielder Riley Bouchak up to bat again with the bases loaded and no outs. Pitch from Randolph on the way, and a called strike as Bouchak now 0-1 in the count. Bouchak, the left-handed batter for the Chaparrals, as it's the 0-1 count. Randolph on the pitch, and a check swing, but a called strike anyways, as Bouchak now behind 0-2 in the count. So the 0-2 count, the bases loaded, and a swing and a miss from Bouchak there, as Bouchak goes down swinging for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first, and that'll take us to the 7th spot in the order with shortstop Will Lee. Will Lee wearing the number 9 for the Chaparrals. Right-handed batter Will Lee, and he'll have the bases loaded with 1 out now here in the bottom of the first. Pitch 1 on the way. That one grounded to third, throw home in time. Now the throw to first, not in time. But they get the force out at home plate as they get Kromanocker trying to get home. As Will Lee will reach on the fielder's choice.
Now batting number 44, Sean O'Connell.
And now we're to the 8th spot in the order with catcher Sean O'Connell. O'Connell, the left-handed batter, wearing the number 44 for the Chaparrals. Bases loaded, 2 outs. That one's outside for ball 1. So now the 1-0 count to O'Connell. 1-0 count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Pitch on the way. That's high and away for ball 2. And the count now 2-0 to O'Connell. Again, Marshfield has put up 2 runs already here in the inning. And pitch on the way. That is a called strike, and it's now 2-1 to O'Connell. So the 2-1 count. And a called ball. That one just misses. As the count now 3-1 to O'Connell. Again, 2 outs and the bases are loaded, so a walk here would score a run. And a swing and a miss from O'Connell there. And the count now runs full. Count runs full to Sean O'Connell. Again, Josh Randolph on the mound for Minocqua. And the 3-2 count pitch is a called strike. As O'Connell doesn't agree with the call, but it's a called strike 3, and O'Connell goes down looking for out number 3, and that'll do it for the first inning as Marshfield puts up 2 runs, leaves 3 stranded. Marshfield leads 2-0 heading into the top of the second. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Bauer & Fine Business Technologies is your complete office technology solution. For 60 years, Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been serving school districts, municipalities, counties, religious organizations, and businesses in Wisconsin and beyond. Visit b-bt.com and let Bauer & Fine Business Technologies be your complete office technology solution. That's b-bt.com.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the top of the second inning here at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield, Wisconsin. As Marshfield leads Minocqua 2-0 here as we get set to start the top of the second inning. Again, Marshfield puts up 2 runs in the bottom of the first to go up. As now we'll take a moment to hear from our friends over at Fleet Farm. If you're thinking of getting a new grill, now is the time to shop at Fleet Farm. Get free assembly and standard home delivery on all grills, $349.99 and over at Fleet Farm. Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955. So full 66 years of business for Fleet Farm. And be sure to pick up a grill. All grills over $349.99 and over come with free assembly and standard home delivery. So be sure to head over to your local Fleet Farm. As now leading off for Minocqua here in the top of the second will be third baseman Dakota C. And the pitch on the way and a called strike on pitch number 1. C wearing the number 2 for Minocqua, and the right-handed batter is Dakota C. Pitch 2 on the way, and a called strike once again, so that just hits the corner for strike 2. Now the 0-2 count quickly to Dakota C. Again, it's Caleb Kromanocker on the mound for the Chaparrals. And pitch 3 on the way, and that one swung on, grounded over to second. Throw to first is in time for out number 1.
Alrighty. With a last name like this, we couldn't help but pick.
So now the ground out for out number 1 from Dakota C. And now up to bat is catcher Danny Biertzer. Biertzer wearing the number 17 for Minocqua. The right-handed batter, as he'll have nobody on and 1 out to Biertzer. And a called strike on pitch 1. So the 0-1 count quickly to Biertzer. And Kromanocker on the mound. He sets, winds, and fires. That one low and outside for ball 1, and the count evens up at 1-1 to Danny Biertzer. So the 1-1 count. And that one swung on right to first and out at first base. As it is Luke Wirtz on the snag over there at first for out number 2.
29, Trevor
So Biertzer lines out to first for out number 2, and it's been 2 up and 2 down thus far in the top of the second. Now up to bat at the 7th spot is Trevor Roschevsky. Roschevsky wearing the number 29. And he swings and misses on pitch 1 as the count is 0-1 quickly to Roschevsky. So the 0-1 count with nobody on and 2 outs to Roschevsky. Kromanocker sets, winds, and fires, and that's a high pitch for ball 1, and the count evens up at 1-1 to Roschevsky. Okay, nobody on, 2 outs. pitch on the way. That one shot out into right center, and that will be caught out there in center field by Nathan Kromanocker for out number 3. So Roschevsky pops out to center as it's 3 up and 3 down in the top of the second as Marshfield leads Minocqua 2-0 heading into the bottom of the second inning. We will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Grassland Dairy Products is your match for an exciting new career today. Go to grassland.com to see the opportunities waiting for you. Browse through careers like CDL truck driver, shipping and receiving, line tech, quality assurance, forklift, maintenance tech, inventory associates, and more. Great compensation, weekly pay, and zero premium, company paid health, dental, and life. Apply now at grassland.com or in person at Grassland Dairy Products, Fairground Avenue, just south of Greenwood.
Really got to understand what a nurse is. Do they focus on you? You know, do they make sure that you're comfortable? And, you know, that's what Shai has. It's the connection that he has, you know, my best interest in mind, always.
Why wait another day? Let's take the next step together towards a better life.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the bottom of the second inning as Minocqua goes scoreless in the top of the second. They go 3 up and 3 down as it was Dakota C grounding out, Danny Biertzer popping out, and Trevor Roschevsky popping out as well. As leading off for Marshfield is Garrett Huber. And pitch 1 is a ball to Huber.
Bottom of the second for the Shaps. Number 7, Garrett Huber. Man, we didn't forget about you, Adam. Just gets a little long-winded sometimes.
So it's the 1-0 count to Garrett Huber, his first at-bat of the day. And a swing and a miss from Huber there as the count evens up at 1-1 to Garrett Huber, the right fielder for Marshfield. Huber wearing the number 7 for the Chaparrals. And the pitch on the way. That one swung on, popped up in the infield. No, shallow right. Yes, it is in the infield to second baseman Sam Johnson. So out number 1. Here as Huber pops out in the infield.
Now batting, third baseman, Isaiah Byro.
Now we're back to the top of the order for Marshfield with third baseman Isaiah Byro. And pitch 1 is the ball to Byro. So Byro facing the 1-0 count with nobody on and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And pitch 2 on the way, and that's low and away for ball 2. Now the count 2-0 to Byro. And Randolph on the wind and the pitch. And that's low and away, but a called strike. Just hits that outside corner. And the count now 2-1 to Isaiah Byro. Pitch on the way, and that one swung on, grounded over to short. Throw to first is in time for out number 2, as it was close there at first. The throw was in time, a little off target, but nonetheless it's out number 2, as it's been 2 up and 2 down for the Chaparrals here in the bottom of the second inning. And that takes us to the 2 spot in the lineup with center fielder Nathan Kromanocker. Kromanocker had a base hit his first at-bat back in the first inning. He's 1 for 1 on the day. And pitch 1 is a ball to Kromanocker. So now the 1-0 count with nobody on and 2 outs. And that one is grounded to second. Throw to first is in time for out number 3. So it's a 3 up and 3 down half inning for the Marshfield Chaparrals. And after 2 innings of play, Marshfield leads Minocqua 2-0. And we will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
I had an employee at once ask me to prioritize family, faith, and business. And I put them in that order in particular. For each one of our employees, it's family first. You do what is best for you and your family. Then the rest of it will take care of itself. It's about making sure you make the best decisions for you and your family.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the top of the third inning. Marshfield leads Minocqua 2-0 after 2 innings of play. And before we get to that, we'll hear from our friends over at Draxler Transport. Draxler has flatbed driving opportunities that pay you a 5-cent per mile premium over van. At Draxler Transport, drivers are always home for their requested time off. Draxler Transport is a family-oriented company that treats you like family. Visit DraxlerTransport.com to apply today. Big thanks to our friends over at Draxler Transport. So that's Fleet Farm, who we've heard from already here today. As we get set to start things off here in the top of the third, again, Marshfield leading Minocqua 2-0 after 2 innings of play. As both sides going 3 up and 3 down in the second inning. And leading off now for Minocqua will be first baseman Zach Peterson. Peterson wearing the number 7 for the Wood Ducks. As he is a left-handed batter, is Zach Peterson. As they look to get Minocqua off to a running start here in the top of the third. And Kromanocker on the pitch, and a called strike on pitch number 1. It's the count now 0-1 to Peterson. And pitch 2 on the way, and a strike once again. So it's quickly 0-2 the count to Zach Peterson. And pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss from Peterson there. As a 3-pitch strikeout for Kromanocker, as Peterson goes down swinging for out number 1. And that'll take us to the 9th spot in the order with second baseman Sam Johnson. Johnson wearing the number 1, batting right-handed for Minocqua. As that was strikeout number 2 of the day for Caleb Kromanocker. And that one fouled off and out of play on pitch 1. And the count 0-1 to Johnson. Again, Kromanacker's given up 1 hit thus far today. That was to Josh Randolph back in the first inning. As the second pitch on the way, and a called strike at the knees. As the count now 0-2 to Sam Johnson. So 5 straight strikes thrown. And as I say that, that's a ball thrown there. So the 1-2 count now to Sam Johnson. As Kromanocker sets. And he fires. And that one's lone in the dirt for ball 2, and the count evens up at 2-2 to Johnson. So count now 2-2, nobody on and 1 out here in the top of the third inning. As the pitch on the way, and that one a big swing and a miss from Sam Johnson there as he goes down swinging for out number 2. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Caleb Kromanocker to start off here in the top of the third. And that'll take us back to the top of the order with center fielder Nate Hopkins. Hopkins popped out to center field his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And pitch on the way, and that one is a ball to Hopkins. Again, Hopkins playing center field today for the Wood Ducks. As it's Kromanocker on the pitch, and that's going to be a called strike. As the count now evens up at 1-1 to Nate Hopkins. As it's Caleb Kromanocker looking for his 3rd strikeout in as many batters here in this inning, as that one's fouled off and out of play for strike 2. And it's now 1-2 the count to Nate Hopkins. So the count now 1-2 with 2 outs and nobody on. Kromanocker on the pitch, and that one grounded foul. As Hopkins just staying alive in the count. Again, Kromanocker has struck out Zach Peterson and Sam Johnson thus far in this inning. There's been 2 up and 2 down thus far in the top of the third. And the pitch on the way, that one's inside, but a called strike on Hopkins. Hopkins didn't like the call there, but it's 3 strikeouts in 3 batters for Caleb Kromanocker here in the top of the third, as it's 3 up and 3 down, as Marshfield still leads 2-0 heading into the bottom of the third. We will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota, powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the bottom of the third inning as the Marshfield Chaparrals lead the Minocqua Wood Ducks 2-0 after 2.5 innings of play. And it will be the Chaparrals up to bat here in the bottom of the third, as leading off for the Chaparrals will be pitcher Caleb Kromanocker. Kromanocker looks at a ball on pitch one, as he had a double his first at-bat back in the first inning. He was then picked off at home. But he's 1 for 1 on the day, and now the count is 1-1 to Kromanocker. Kromanocker also with 4 strikeouts at the mound today for Marshfield, as that one's grounded foul for strike number 2, and it's now 1-2 to Caleb Kromanocker. And Marshfield put up 2 runs in the first, and they went 3 up and 3 down in the second. As pitch on the way, that one swung on and fouled back and out of play, as Kromanocker just staying alive in the count. As again, it's Josh Randolph on the mound for Minocqua. And Randolph on the wind and the pitch. That one is a little half swing, but he pops it right out there into left field, into the gap for a base hit. So Kromanocker just chips that one right out into the gap into left field for a single, as he gets things started here for the Chaparrals. And now up to bat at the 4 spot, it is first baseman Luke Wirtz. Wirtz reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. First and only at-bat of the day. And the pitch on the way. That one fouled off out of play, as the count now 0-1 to Wirtz. And a reminder to stay tuned for the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. At the conclusion of this one, we'll talk with Coach Wirtz and potentially a winning player of the Chaparrals as well, as the count now 0-1 to Luke Wirtz. And a runner at first and no outs, as that one's low and away. That's ball 1. The count evens up at 1-1 to Wirtz. Again, runner at first and no outs here for Luke Wirtz. The 1-1 pitch is swung on out into the gap into left field, and that'll be good for a base hit for Wirtz, as it sends Kromanocker to second. So back-to-back hits to start off the third inning for the Chaparrals. And now up to bat at the 5 spot is second baseman Jason Kurth. And we spoke with Kurth after Marshfield's win at Pittsville last week Sunday. So he was the highlight house player of the game for that one. And he's 1 for 1 already today. He's got a base hit back in the first inning. And he swings on that one, grounds it to short, and it's dropped at short. There was a potential for a double play on that play, as it was Wally Augustine just bobbling that one. So Kurth's going to reach first on the air.
Riley Bouchak.
And the bases are now loaded with no outs for left fielder Riley Bouchak. Bouchak struck out swinging in his first at-bat back in the first inning. And pitch on the way. That's a swing and a miss from Bouchak there. And the count now 0-1 to Riley Bouchak. And the bases are loaded with no outs. As that one shot out into deep center field, and it's caught, but a run will score for the Chaparrals, as it's Bouchak with the sacrifice fly out to center that scores a run. And it's Kromanocker coming across home, so the Chaparrals now up 3-0 on the Wood Ducks. And Wirtz advances to third, and Kurth stays put at first, so we have runners at the corners with one out for shortstop Will Lee. Lee reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat, and pitch one is a called strike, as the count now 0-1 to Lee. It's the 0-1 count, runners at first and third with one out, as it's Randolph on the wind and the pitch, and that's low for a ball, as the count is 1-1 to Lee. The 1-1 count pitch is low, but a called strike. So now the 1-2 count to Will Lee. Again, Lee reached on a fielder's choice his first at-bat. Brought in a run as well. That one's fouled off out of play, as Lee just staying alive in the count. So the 1-2 count, runners at the corners and one out here in the bottom of the third. Pitch on the way. That's a swing and a miss from Lee there as he goes down swinging, and they get Kurth at first as well. So it'll be a double play off the strikeout, and then they get Kurth at first for out number 3. So that will do it for the third inning. Marshfield leads 3-0 heading into the fourth inning of play. We will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts is now open in Rudolph with the same great child care you know about in Auburndale. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
The community here in Rudolph has been extremely welcoming, and we're excited to serve here just like we do up in Auburndale. Part of the process is to help out the school districts and to help the children stay, their 4K children to stay close and get services right here. We serve here in Rudolph 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds, and up in Auburndale we serve 6 weeks old until 12-year-olds.
Our Auburndale pea pods, wiggle worms, busy bees, and fireflies welcome the Rudolph sweet potatoes, lovely ladybugs, and beautiful butterflies. Contact Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Welcome back, everybody, as we have a chance to hear from our friends over at Valley Communities Credit Union. It's never too early to start teaching the value of saving. Your youngsters can learn today with a Valley Communities Credit Union Kids Club or Teen Savings Club membership. We make saving fun and easy with prizes for making deposits and getting good grades. Stop in to one of our 5 locations in Mosinee, Cronenwater, Marshfield, Stevens Point, and Wisconsin Rapids to open an account for your kids today at Valley Communities Credit Union. Thanks to our friends at Valley Communities Credit Union. Be sure to start our kids off with a Teen Savings Club membership or a Kids Club Savings membership at Valley Communities Credit Union. So again, Marshfield leads Minocqua 3-0 here now as we are in the top of the fourth inning. And leading off for Minocqua will be pitcher Josh Randolph. He has the one and only hit of the game thus far for Minocqua. And the pitch on the way. That one swung on into left field, and he'll have hit number 2 for the Wood Ducks as well, as he lines that one out into the gap into left field, as he's now 2 for 2 on the day with a double and a single as he gets things started here for Minocqua. As they're down 3-0, looking to get something going are the Wood Ducks. As now up to bat at the 3 spot is shortstop Wally Augustine. Augustine popped out to center his first at bat. 0 for 1 on the day is Augustine. And Kromanocker on the pitch. And a called strike on pitch 1. So now the 0-1 count to Augustine with a runner at first and no outs here in the top of the fourth. That's the pitch on the way, and that's high for ball 1. Now the count even at 1-1 to Augustine. And Kromanocker, he sets, winds, and fires, and that's a swing and a miss on pitch number 3 for strike 2. And it's now 1-2 the count to Wally Augustine. And a runner at first and no outs for Augustine. Kromanocker on the pitch, and a called ball just misses. As the count now evens up at 2-2 to Wally Augustine. So the 2-2 count, runner at first, no outs as Augustine takes the time. Now steps back in the box, gets ready to go. As Caleb Kromanocker sets and fires. And that one hit. That one hit Augustine there, as it looked like he was getting ready to swing on that one. And they're going to talk about this and then see if maybe Augustine went into that one. It looked like he tried swinging on that one and checked it, and it looked like it hit him in the wrist or hands. And they'll talk about it. We'll see what the umpires decide. And Augustine setting to first. And they will say he'll take his base. It'll be a hit batter for Kromanocker as Augustine takes his base. And now we have runners at first and second here with no outs in the top of the 4th inning for Minocqua. And now we're up to the 4th spot in the order with right fielder Peter Arts. Arts struck out swinging his first at bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And the pitch on the way, and that's inside for ball 1. So now the 1-0 count to Arts, with runners at first and second and no outs in the top of the 4th inning. Marshfield up 3-0. As Kromanocker on the pitch, and a swing and a miss on a high pitch for Arts, as the count now even at 1-1 to Peter Arts. For the 1-1 count, Kromanocker on the pitch, and that's low and outside for ball number 2. There's the count now 2-1 to Arts. So the 2-1 count, runners at first and second base. And no outs. The 2-1 count, pitch on the way, and that's a called ball. That one just high. As the count quickly 3-1 now to Arts. Outside the hit batter for Augustine. Kromanocker has not yet walked a batter. And that one's popped up and into left field. And it will be caught out there in left field for out number 1, as it was Riley Bouchak making the play out there in left for out number 1 as Arts pops out. And now up to bat at the 5 spot is third baseman Dakota C. C grounded out his first at bat back in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1 on the day. I still have runners at first and second base with 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning of play. As pitch 1 on the way. That one swung on, fouled off, out of play. As the count now 0-1 to C.
Central Wisconsin Glass will replace it for free. See Central Wisconsin Glass for all your glass needs.
So now the 0-1 count with runners at first and second as Kromanocker makes a peek over to second base. Keeps Randolph honest over there at second. As he checks over at second once again and takes the time. So we have runners at first and second in the 0-1 count to Dakota C. And again, Kromanocker really checking Randolph over there at second base. Pitch on the way, and that's a called ball. So now the count even at 1-1 to Dakota C. One count, 1 out. Pitch on the way, and that's outside, but a called strike as it just hits the outside corner. And the count now 1-2 to Dakota C. With runners at first and second and 1 out here in the top of the 4th rather. Now Kromanocker on the pitch, and that one swung on, popped up into shallow center field. And it will be caught out there in center field by Nathan Kromanocker for out number 2. So it's Dakota C popping out to center for out number 2. And now up to bat is catcher Danny Biertzer.
Danny Biertzer.
Biertzer popped out his first at bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day, as he'll have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And pitch 1 is a strike to Biertzer. And the only batter that Caleb Kromanocker has given up a hit to so far today is Josh Randolph. He's got 2 hits. And that's another strike as the count quickly 0-2 to Danny Biertzer. It's the 0-2 count. 2 outs, pitch on the way. That one's low for a ball 1. So now the count 1-2. Again, runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Minocqua with potential scoring run at second. Biertzer's able to make a play on the ball, as Biertzer takes time at the plate and steps back into the box, gets set to go. As Kromanocker's looking for his 5th strikeout of the day. And he will have it, as that is a called strike 3. So Biertzer goes down looking for out number 3, and it is Kromanocker's 5th strikeout of the day, as Marshfield leads 3-0 after 3.5 innings of play. We will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
From first contact at Dental Clinic of Marshfield, their dentists are committed to your individual attention and strive to provide personalized oral health care. They work hard to create the ultimate stress-free and comfortable dental experience. It is their mission to educate and provide the patients with the best dental care in central Wisconsin. Whether you're looking for information on implants, teeth whitening, crowns, orthodontics, dentures, or any dental service, Dental Clinic of Marshfield has it for you. You can book your appointment online at dentalclinicofmarshfield.com or give them a call at one of their 3 locations in Marshfield, Stratford, or Neillsville today.
Roof Tech LLC specializes in commercial roof coatings and spray foam. Roof Tech also services the entire state of Wisconsin. That's right, from La Crosse to Milwaukee, Eau Claire to Green Bay, Superior, Marshfield, Kenosha, Madison, Sheboygan, and everywhere in between. Roof Tech uses superior systems that can fully restore just about any roof in Wisconsin. Roof Tech is offering modern solutions for your roof's data dilemmas. See Roof Tech online at rooftechllc.com or Roof Tech LLC on Facebook.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the bottom of the 4th inning. The Marshfield Chaparrals lead the Minocqua Wood Ducks 3-0 after 3.5 innings of play, as it will be the Chaparrals up to bat here in the bottom of the 4th. And leading off for the Chaparrals will be catcher Sean O'Connell. O'Connell is 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out looking in his one and only at bat in the 1st inning, as Chaparrals scored 2 runs back in the 1st inning, and they scored a run in the 3rd as well. It was 3 up and 3 down in the 2nd for the Chaparrals, but again, 2 runs in the 1st and 1 in the 3rd, as they are up 3-0 on the Minocqua Wood Ducks, as we get set to start here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As again, leading off for the Chaparrals will be the left-handed batter, catcher number 44, Sean O'Connell. It's still Josh Randolph out on the mound for the Wood Ducks, as pitch 1 on the way. That one outside for ball 1. So it's the 1-0 count, and that one swung on, shot down the first base line, just barely foul, as the count evens up at 1-1 to Sean O'Connell. So the 1-1 count, as Randolph looking for a new ball, and he's got it. So the 1-1 count to O'Connell. And a swing, and maybe he chipped that one back for a foul. So the count now 1-2 to O'Connell. He's getting struck out looking on a full count, his first at-bat. As pitch on the way, and that's high for ball number 2. The count now evens up at 2-2 to O'Connell. And that one's outside, and the count runs full once again to O'Connell. As the full count to leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 4th, Sean O'Connell. Catching tonight for the Chaparrals. Pitch on the way, and that's a called ball 4. As O'Connell is walked. As base runner on early for the Chaparrals here in the bottom of the 4th. Now up to bat at the 9 spot is right fielder Garrett Huber. As well, a meeting on the mound between Randolph and Biertzer. As Danny Biertzer and Josh Randolph talk things over on the mound. Biertzer with some words of encouragement for Randolph. And we're now back to the 9 spot in the order with right fielder Garrett Huber. Huber's 0 for 1 on the day. He popped out to second his first at-bat. As pitch on the way, and that's going to be a called strike. So the count now 0-1 to Huber. With the runner at first in, no outs here in the bottom of the 4th for the Chaparrals. And the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss on pitch number 2 from Huber. Again, it's the 0-2 count now with the runner at first and no outs to Garrett Huber. And he swings and chips that one back foul as Huber stays alive in the count. So the 0-2 count for Garrett Huber. And Randolph sets. Winds and fires. And that one shot out into right center and caught. Now the throw to first is in time for out number 2. So it was caught out there by second baseman Sam Johnson. The heady play to throw it over to first to get O'Connell out at first as well. So it's the double play.
Now batting.
There as Huber pops out to second once again for out number 1. And then the force out at first for out number 2. And now we're back to the top of the order with third baseman Isaiah Byrell. Byrell's 1 for 2 on the day. And pitch 1 is a called strike to Byrell. Byrell had a single in his first at-bat out into left field. And his second at-bat he grounded out back in the second inning. And that one's high for ball 1. The count evens up at 1 apiece to Isaiah Byrell. With the pitch on the way. That one swung on, fouled out of play into the parking lot for strike number 2. As the count now 1-2 to Byrell. And the pitch from Randolph. That one grounded into the gap into left field, and it will be a base hit for Isaiah Byrell. He's now 2 for 3 on the day. As that'll take us to the second spot in the order with center fielder Nathan Kromanocker.
Next at the plate, number 19.
Kromanocker, the left-handed batter. Kromanocker is 1 for 2 on the day. He had a base hit his first at-bat, grounded out his second. He also scored in the first inning. As he's got a runner at first and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. As that pitch is inside for a strike. As the count now 0-1 to Kromanocker. The 0-1 count pitch is swung on out into center field. It'll be another base hit. So it's Nathan Kromanocker with the base hit that sends Byrell to second. So now we have runners at first and second base with pitcher at the number 3 spot in the order, Caleb Kromanocker.
Kromanocker.
Caleb Kromanocker is 2 for 2 on the day. He doubled in the first. And it was an RBI double in the first for Kromanocker, and he had a base hit back in the third inning. So Kromanocker looking to keep his strong hitting day going as the pitch on the way. That one swung on and caught right to Randolph at the mound for out number 3. So Marshfield leaves 2 stranded. They score none, and Marshfield still leaves 3-0 after 4 innings of play. We will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball, getting our post-game sponsor mixed up there, but we'll be back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Valley Communities Credit Union wants you to know that buying a home has never been easier.
With mortgage rates as low as 2.49% APR, financing your home has never been more affordable.
With Valley Communities Credit Union, we have low closing costs, local servicing, and underwriting.
We will make it simple and secure from beginning to end.
Call, click, or visit one of our 5 locations
and let our team show you why membership matters at VCCU.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the top of the 5th inning of play, as the Marshfield Chaparrals lead the Minocqua Wood Ducks 3-0 after 4 innings. We have gone scoreless here now in the 4th. Marshfield did put up that run in the 3rd. So Marshfield scored 2 runs in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd. Minocqua still looking for their first run. They'll have a chance at it here in the top of the 5th. And leading off for the Wood Ducks will be the 7th spot left fielder Trevor Roschewski. Roschevsky's 0 for 1 on the day. He popped out to center in his one and only at bat. As again, it's Caleb Kromanocker on the mound. He's still out there here in the 5th as he's got 5 strikeouts in 4 innings of play. He's given up just 2 hits and no runs and 5 strikeouts as count is 0-1 to Roschewski to start off. And pitch 2 on the way. That one's low and outside, but a called strike as it just hits the outside corner. Well-placed ball there from Kromanocker. As the count quickly 0-2 to Roschewski. As the pitch on the way, that one inside for a ball. So the count now 1-2 to Trevor Roschevsky. So again, Caleb Kromanocker now looking for his 6th strikeout of the day. That's low and outside. He won't have it there as the count evens up at 2-2 to Roschevsky. Again, Roschevsky popped out to center his first at bat. And this one will be a base hit for Roschevsky. So Roschevsky gets things started here for the Wood Ducks in the top of the 5th. And now up to the 8th spot in the order with first baseman Zach Peterson. Peterson struck out swinging in his first at-bat back in the 3rd inning. So now 3 hits given up on the day for Caleb Kromanocker. And a swing and a miss on pitch 1 from Peterson. The count now 0-1 to Zach Peterson. He's got a runner at first and no outs here in the top of the 5th. As that's going to be a called strike, and the count quickly 0-2 now to Peterson. As Kromanocker sets, winds and fires, and a swing, and that one's fouled back. So he just gets a small piece of that one to stay alive, does Peterson. So you have a runner at first and no outs here in the top of the 5th. As the pitch on the way. That's an inside pitch, but a called strike. So Peterson goes down looking for out number 1, and that'll be Kromanocker's 6th strikeout of the day. Now to the 9th spot in the order with second baseman Sam Johnson. And Johnson struck out swinging his first at-bat as well. As the pitch on the way, that is low, but a called strike. That's down at the knees for strike 1. So now the 0-1 count to Johnson with a runner at first and 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning, rather. And that's a called strike again. So in all 3 of these first batters, Kromanocker has pitched 2 strikes to start off with each batter. So the 0-2 count to Johnson. Kromanocker on the pitch, and that one swung on, hit out into shallow left, and it will be caught out there in left field for out number 2. So now it takes us back to the top of the order with center fielder Nate Hopkins.
Now batting number 57, Nate Hopkins.
Hopkins is 0 for 2 on the day. He's popped out to center field and struck out looking in his first 2 at-bats. So now runner at first with 2 outs for Nate Hopkins. And that one popped up out of play, foul. So the count now 0-1 to Hopkins. And Kromanocker. Not sets, fires. That one swung on, grounded to first over to Wirtz and out at first base for out number 3. So Minocqua leaves 1 stranded. They score none as Marshfield leads 3-0 after 4.5 innings of play. We'll take a quick break and be right back with the bottom of the 5th right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
This is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and the Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love Home Furniture. West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, switch to US Cellular and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G, plus no activation fees. So you can stream, capture, and post without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Northside Computers is Marshfield's U.S. Cellular store. Visit us on South Central Avenue in Marshfield for the latest Samsung, Apple, personal cellular devices, tablets, and more.
Welcome back, everybody, as the Marshfield Chaparrals lead the Minocqua Wood Ducks 3-0 after 4.5 innings of play. As it's Caleb Kromanocker still pitching a shutout thus far through 4.5 innings. As it'll be the Chaparrals leading off and up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. As now up to bat, starting off here for the Chaparrals at the 4 spot will be first baseman and player coach Luke Wirtz. Wirtz has reached on a fielder's choice and had a base hit in his first 2 at-bats.
Leading off for the Chaparrals in the bottom of the 5th, number 5, Luke Wirtz.
So it'll be Wirtz leading off, and looks like it's still Josh Randolph on the mound, and pitch 1 on the way. That one popped up in to shallow right center. Actually, it's in the infield for out number 1. So Wirtz pops out
number 22
on pitch 1.
Kurth.
And that'll take us to the 5 spot in the order with second baseman Jason Kurth. Kurth has had a base hit and he's reached on an error in his first 2 at-bats. And pitch 1 on the way. And that's inside for a ball. One-0 count to Kurth and a swing and a miss on pitch 2, and the count evens up at 1-1 to Jason Kurth. So the 1-1 count, that's low and in the dirt. That's ball 2. Now the count 2-1 to Jason Kurth, the second baseman tonight. And the pitch on the way. That's a swing and a miss once again as Kurth just over the top of that one. As the count now evens up at 2-2 to Jason Kurth. As again, it's Josh Randolph on the mound and on the pitch. And a sidearm throw there. As the count runs full to Jason Kurth. Pitch on the way. That's inside. That's ball 4. Kurth will take his base as he is walked. And now we're up to the 6th spot in the order with left fielder Riley Bouchak. Bouchak's 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out swinging and popped out to center. It was a sacrifice fly that scored a run, though, for Bouchak in his second at-bat. He'll have a runner at first and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. As the pitch on the way, that's a swing and a miss from Bouchak there. He wanted all of that one, but misses, and it's the 0-1 count now to Bouchak. Pitch on the way, and a check swing, but a called strike anyways as that hits the outside edge. Bouchak didn't seem to like that call, but it's the 0-2 count nonetheless with the runner at first and 1 out to Riley Bouchak. Now the pitch, and that one swung on, fouled back as the count now 0-2 to Bouchak. So Bouchak staying alive in the count as it's 0-2 with a runner at first and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. As the pitch on the way, and that's outside for ball 1. So now the count 1-2 to Riley Bouchak. As the pitch is swung on and missed by Bouchak there. As Bouchak goes down swinging for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that takes us to the 7th spot in the order with shortstop Will Lee. Lee has reached on a fielder's choice and struck out swinging in his first 2 at-bats. And pitch 1, sidearm pitch. That one's popped up into foul territory. We'll see if a play is made. And it will be. It's caught in foul territory for out number 3. As Will Lee pops out. And Marshfield leaves a runner stranded, but they're still up 3-0 after 5 innings. And we will take a quick break and be back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Get a jump start on college or speed up your degree with a transferable class from Mid-State Technical College this summer. There are 130 classes to choose from, online or in person, taught by instructors who are experts in their field. Get info on the Mid-State Technical College summer classes at mstc.edu.
Keep moving ahead with the summer tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Center through July 2nd. Up to $150 in rebates on Goodyear tires with a Goodyear credit card subject to credit approval. The summer tire event at Sherrill Tire. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken of Marshfield has been voted Best Pizza in Marshfield 12 years in a row. With popular choices like broccoli bacon cheese, drunken chicken, or any of the 25 specialty pizzas, Scotty's is ready to earn your vote now at 715-384-8118. Choose Scotty's for pizza, chicken, subs, sandwiches, and more. Carry out, dine-in, and delivery. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, 715-384-8118.
Welcome back, everybody. As we get set to start the top of the 6th, they finish up some games out there on the field here at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield, Wisconsin, the home of the Marshfield Chaparrals. As the Chaparrals lead the Minocqua Wood Ducks 3-0, heading into the top of the 6th inning now. It's a pretty fast-paced game here today at Jack Hackman Field, as the Chaparrals have shut out the Wood Ducks through 5 innings of play. We'll see if the Wood Ducks can get some offense going and put some runs on the board, and they'll have, and they will have Josh Randolph to do it. And Randolph has been the hot bat today for the Wood Ducks. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single in his 2 at-bats. As again, Caleb Kromanocker on the mound still for Marshfield. And a swing and a miss on pitch 1 on an outside pitch for Randolph as he looked to get something going for the Wood Ducks. So the 0-1 count to Josh Randolph, and a swing and a miss on another outside pitch. So Kromanocker, and it's Randolph, 0-2 the count to Randolph now. And that's a ball. So the 1-2 count to Randolph as Kromanocker looks for his 7th strikeout of the day. So now the 1-2 count, pitch on the way. That's a swing and a miss from Randolph. So Josh Randolph goes down swinging, and it's strikeout number 7 of the day for Caleb Kromanocker.
Wally Augustine.
And now we're to the 3 spot in the order. It's the 2-3-4 spot here in the top of the 6th for the Wood Ducks, as now we're to the 3 spot with shortstop Wally Augustine. Augustine popped out his first at-bat and was hit by a pitch in his second. And a called ball on pitch 1 to Augustine. So now the 1-0 count. Pitch on the way, and that one hits the outside corner for strike 1, as the count now 1-1 to Wally Augustine. Pitch on the way, that's high for ball 2. The count now 2-1 to Augustine. Again, Augustine popped out and was hit by a pitch in his first 2 at-bats. That's the 2-1 count with nobody on. That one swung on, grounded over to short. Be a long throw, and runners out, as that was a close call over there at first, but called out at first. So Augustine grounds out for out number 2. So it's been 2 up and 2 down for the Wood Ducks here in the top of the 6th. And now we're to the 4 spot in the order with right fielder Peter Arts. Arts is 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out swinging in his first 2 at-bats and popped out to left in his second. So 0 for 2 on the day is Arts, and a swing and a miss on pitch 1. So now the 0-1 count to Arts as it's Kromanocker with 7 strikeouts right now. He looks for his 8th. And he's on the way to it as it's 0-2 the count to Arts. Another reminder to stay tuned for your Nasonville Dairy postgame show. We'll talk with Coach Wirtz and a player from the Chaparrals as well. If the Chaparrals are able to pull out the win, that one's hit out into deep left field. Still going back, that hits the wall. So it's going to be a double for Peter Arts off the 0-2 count. As now a runner in scoring position for the Wood Ducks. And for third baseman at the 5 spot in the order, Dakota C. C is 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded out his first at-bat and popped out to center in his second. So 0 for 2 is C. As he swings, grounds that one over to third, and the throw to first is on target and in time for out number 3, as the Wood Ducks leave 1 stranded. They go scoreless, and Marshfield still leads 3-0 after 5.5 innings of play. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Citizens State Bank of Loyal is your independently owned community bank with locations just a short drive or walk from where you work and live. Citizens State Bank of Loyal invites you to a banking relationship that will always put you first. Personal, business, and agricultural services provided by people that live just across town and around the corner. At Citizens State Bank of Loyal, we pride ourselves in our involvement in the communities we serve. See us today in Neillsville, Marshfield, Spencer, Granton, and Loyal. Citizens State Bank of Loyal, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At the Granite Shop, we take great pride in what we do. We offer high-quality natural stone granite as well as a huge selection of man-made stone. With full slabs as well as a variety of partial remnants, you'll have no problem finding the stone that was meant for you. Our high-end, high-quality granite, quartz, and marble is perfect for any kitchen, bathroom, or remodel need. We are locally owned and operated on County Road C near Stratford. We service all of Wisconsin.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the bottom of the 6th inning here at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield, Wisconsin, the home of the Marshfield Chaparrals. As the Chaparrals lead the Minocqua Wood Ducks 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning now. And leading off for the Chaparrals here in the bottom of the 6th will be catcher Sean O'Connell. O'Connell is 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out looking and was walked in his first 2 at-bats. The sidearm pitch is fouled off for strike 1. It's count now 0-1 to O'Connell. A left-handed batter, O'Connell. Pitch on the way. That is a called strike. That was right in there for strike 2. As the count now 0-2 to Sean O'Connell. Both these pitchers from both sides really starting to get into the zones, throwing some strikes here for each of them. As again, it's Kromanocker still pitching the shutout, and it's Randolph of Minocqua giving up 3 runs so far. That was in the first and third innings. He gave up 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third. As none so far in the 4th and 5th. We'll see what happens here in the 6th inning. That one's inside, and that's 1-2 the count now to Sean O'Connell. The 1-2 count pitch. That's outside. That's ball 2. So the count now 2-2 to Sean O'Connell. Pitch on the way. That one popped up in foul territory, and it will fall foul. As the count still 2-2, as O'Connell just stays alive in the count. And it was initially 0-2. He's battled it off into 2-2 now. So the 2-2 count and the pitch. That one swung on, popped up into right field, right center field, and it will be caught out there in center for out number 1. Now we're to the 9th spot in the order with right fielder Garrett Huber.
Now batting, number 7, Garrett Huber.
Huber is 0 for 2 on the day. He's popped out to second in each of his first 2 at-bats. See what Huber's got here in the 6th. As pitch 1 just hits that outside corner for strike 1. Again, each of these pitchers here today, in these last few innings at least, doing a nice job painting the strike zone there as a swing and a miss on the sidearm pitch from Huber. So the count now 0-2 to Huber from Randolph, rather, on the mound. Pitch on the way. That's inside for ball 1. And Randolph really seems to be finding himself here after giving up those 3 runs in the first 3 innings. And that's called ball. So the count now even at 2-2 to Garrett Huber. And the pitch on the way. That one swung on, popped up, and out of play foul. Huber just stays alive in the count. Pitch on the way. Sidearm pitch. That's an inside pitch, and the count now runs full to Garrett Huber. Pitch on the way. That one popped up. Out of play foul once again. And the count stays full to Huber. Pitch on the way. That is a called strike. So Garrett Huber goes down looking for out number 2, as that is strikeout number 5 of the day for Josh Randolph. And now we're back to the top of the order for the Chaparrals with third baseman Isaiah Byrel. Byrel's 2 for 3 on the day. He's got 2 base hits and a ground out in his 3 at-bats. He pops that one foul on pitch 1. So the count now 0-1 to Byrel. That one popped up back, and it looks like it's in play, and it will fall foul. So the count now 0-2 to Isaiah Byral. As Josh Randolph has led each batter 0-2 to start off the count in each of his first 3 batters now. As the first 2 batters went down, we'll see what happens with Isaiah Byral here in the 6th. And the pitch on the way. That one swung on, grounded into the gap, into left field. It'll be another base hit for Byral. So Byral now 3 for 4 on the day.
Next at the plate, number 19, Nathan Kromanocker.
As now up to bat, the 2 spot is center fielder Nathan Kromanocker. Kromanacker's 2 for 3 on the day as well. He's got 2 base hits and a ground out in his 3 at-bats. As Marshfield with a potential run at first. And time called. Pitch on the way. That's low for ball 1. So about an hour and a half underway. That one grounded over to first. And it's going to be a tough play. And it's made at first. So Josh Randolph gets over to first in time.
After 6.
As that is out number 3. The Chaparrals still lead 3-0 with a runner left stranded. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League Baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
At the Granite Shop, we take great pride in what we do. We offer high-quality natural stone granite as well as a huge selection of man-made stone. With full slabs as well as a variety of partial remnants, you'll have no problem finding the stone that was meant for you. Our high-end, high-quality granite, quartz, and marble is perfect for any kitchen, bathroom, or remodel need. We are locally owned and operated on County Road C near Stratford. We service all of Wisconsin.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set for the top of the 7th inning. Marshfield leads Minocqua 3-0 as we got some games going on out on the field here. You can see some individuals, I believe, just charging each other, trying to knock each other over in the little bubbles there. That'll be it for the games there, as we'll take a chance to hear from our friends over at Awards and More now. Awards and More is your one-stop location for awards, plaques, trophies, embroidery, screen printing, and promotional products. Awards and More is also the proud sponsor of the Zaleski Sports Athlete of the Month. Visit Awards and More on Facebook to begin your next trophy order.
All fall balls to the concession stand, and you will receive 50 cents, along with a chance to win a bike at the last home game.
And now we're to the top of the 7th inning.
Real estate of Marshfield.
And leading off for the Minocqua Wood Ducks will be catcher at the 6th spot, Danny Biertzer.
Leading off for the Wood Ducks, number 17, your beer batter, Danny Biertzer.
As Biertzer is 0 for 2 on the day. That one fouled off out of play for strike 1. So now the 0-1 count to Biertzer. It's the 0-1 count to leadoff batter here in the top of the 7th, Danny Biertzer. And pitch 2 on the way. That is a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 to Biertzer. As again, Kromanocker still pitching the shutout. He's looking for his 8th strikeout, and he'll have it. So Kromanocker with 8 strikeouts now in 7 innings.
Discount beverages until the end of the 7th.
So now 1 out as Biertzer strikes out looking. And now we're up to the 7th spot in the order with left fielder Trevor Roschewski. Roschevsky's 1 for 2 on the day. He's popped out to center and had a base hit in his 2 at-bats. That one's popped out into foul territory. No play will be made. So the quickly 0-1 the count to Roschevsky. So the 0-1 count, nobody on and 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. That's Kromanocker on the mound, and the pitch, and that's way inside. Roschevsky's able to quickly hop out of the way, and that's a ball. It is important to note on hit batters and dodging out of the way in this Dairyland League. You do need to make an effort to get out of the way in order to get the hit batter call. As that is a strike to Roschevsky, so now the count is 1-2 to Trevor Roschevsky. As we saw last week between Pittsville and Marshfield, he had a couple instances where batters got hit but didn't make an effort to get out of the way, so they weren't able to take the base, as that one's grounded foul. So the count now 1-2 to Trevor Roschevsky. With nobody on and 1 out here in the top of the 7th. That one is going to be a base hit for Roschevsky. So another hit for Trevor Roschevsky. He's now 2 for 3 on the day, and that'll take us to the 8th spot in the order with first baseman Zach Peterson.
Next at the plate, number 7, Zach Peterson.
As Minocqua looks to get something on the board, as they have been shut out through 6 innings of play. And it'll be Zach Peterson. Peterson is 0 for 2. He struck out each of his first 2 at-bats. He tried to get the bunt down there, but fouled it off. Again, Peterson has struck out looking and swinging in his first 2 at-bats. It's the 0-1 count. So we also got some golf being broadcasted here on the Zaleski Sports Broadcast Network. It is the birthday man, Jason Zaleski, on the call there. I'm told old Jason Zaleski's birthday today. Happy birthday to Jason. So the throw to second is off the mark, as it's Roschevsky successfully stealing second. And it's now the 1-2 count to Peterson, but it's Jason Zaleski on the call there for, let's see what kind of golf do we got going on. It is the Neilsville Country Club, the 48th annual NCC Invitational over there at the Neilsville Country Club. So if you want to watch some golf here today as well, get a couple different screens going. Watch the Marshfield Chaparrals and the Minocqua Wood Ducks, and watch some golf over there at the 48th annual NCC Invitational over there at the Neilsville Country Club. And the pitch on the way. That's a check swing and a called ball, as the count now evens up at 2-2 to Zach Peterson. And a swing and a miss, as it is strikeout number 9 on the day now for Caleb Kromanocker. And that is out number 2 here in the top of the 7th.
Johnson.
So again, 9 strikeouts for Kromanocker, as we're back to the 9th spot in the order with second baseman Sam Johnson. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Runner at second, and a called strike on pitch 1. So Kromanocker having no problems pitching strikes here today. So it's the 0-1 count with a runner at second and 2 outs. Pitch on the way. That one popped up and foul. So 2 outs with a runner at second, and the 0-2 count to Sam Johnson. Kromanocker checks over to second there to Roschevsky. Now the pitch on the way. That's low and away in the dirt for ball 1. Roschevsky stays put at second. Thought about running there, but probably a wise choice to stay put at second there. So it's the 1-2 count now to Sam Johnson. Pitch on the way. And a called strike 3. So it's Kromanocker now with 10 strikeouts on the day, and he has pitched a shutout through 7 innings as Marshfield leads Minocqua 3-0 heading into the 8th. We will take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Find what you want in a new summer ride? Settling for good enough just to have it now? Wait, don't settle. Herbs and Tomahawk and Power Pack in Marshfield have the solution. Custom order. Get exactly what you want by building your customized ride with us, and we'll place a special order with a manufacturer. That means the color you want, the package you need, and the new ride you deserve. Plus parts packages and financing packages with gear included. Herbs and Tomahawk and Power Pack in Marshfield. Don't settle. Get your custom order in today.
Bauer & Fine Business Technologies is your complete office technology solution. For 60 years, Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been serving school districts, municipalities, counties, religious organizations, and businesses in Wisconsin and beyond. Visit b-bt.com and let Bauer & Fine Business Technologies be your complete office technology solution. That's b-bt.com.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the bottom of the 7th inning, and it will be the Chaparrals up to bat. Leading off is pitcher Caleb Kromanocker, and he shoots that one out into deep right center field. He got all of that one, and that one hits the wall out in center field. Kromanocker's going to hold up at second. So Caleb Kromanocker not only dominating on the mound today for the Chaparrals, but also he's got 2 doubles now on the day and a single. He's 3 for 4. So he's 3 for 4 at the plate, and he's got 10 strikeouts and pitched a shutout on the mound. So quite the day for Caleb Kromanocker for the Chaparrals, as up to bat now is first baseman Luke Wirtz, who's reached on a fielder's choice at a base hit and popped out in his 3 at-bats. Pitch one's a ball to Wirtz, as looks like it's still Josh Randolph on the mound for Minocqua. It's the count 1-0 to Wirtz. Pitch on the way. And that's a called strike. Count evens up at 1-1 to Wirtz. As we have been scoreless in this game ever since the 3rd inning. The 3rd inning was the last time we had a run scored, and that was from the Chaparrals with 1 run. So now the 1-2 count to Wirtz, as that's a called strike. So 1-2 count. Runner at second, no outs. Pitch on the way to Wirtz. That's inside. That's a ball. And now the count evens up at 2-2 to Luke Wirtz. And the pitch on the way. That's outside and low. And the count now runs full to Wirtz. Again, now the count runs full. 3-2 count with the runner at second and no outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that one's outside, and that's a ball. So that's ball 4. Wirtz takes his base. And now runners at first and second. And again, basically here in the Dairyland League, we play 9 innings. We play 9 innings here in the Dairyland League. So now up to bat at the 5 spot. Second baseman Jason Kurth. So Chaparrals in prime position to put some more runs on the board here in the bottom of the 7th with Kurth up to bat. And runners at first and second. That's a called strike to Kurth. Now the count is 0-1. Pitch on the way. That is a ball. Now the count 1-1 to Kurth, with runners at first and second. That one swung on, grounded to short. This is going to be a tough play, and it's not going to be made. So Kurth will have the infield hit, as he's now got 2 base hits, a walk, and a reach on a fielder's choice in his 3 at-bats. So now the bases are loaded with no outs for left fielder Riley Bouchak. Bouchak's 0 for 3 on the day. He struck out swinging twice and popped out to center once in his 3 at-bats. But now the bases are loaded with no outs for the Chaparrals. As looks like we might have a pitching change. Or maybe it's just a meeting on the mound for Minocqua. And we won't have a change, just a quick meeting there, but got to think if Marshfield's able to put up some few runs here, we might see a pitching change soon for the Wood Ducks. But again, Randolph has pitched throughout all these 7 innings, as has Caleb Kromanocker of the Chaparrals. So both these guys going deep into this game. As that one's fouled back by Bouchak. I think they're going to give Randolph the chance to try and finish out this inning. Again, Randolph had been fine in his groove, but now here in this inning, struggling. He's given up 2 hits and a walk here in 3 batters, as that was a ball. So now the count 1-1 to Bouchak. That one swung on, hit out into deep right field for Bouchak, and it hits the wall. So it will be a 2 RBI double for Riley Bouchak. So Bouchak with the 2 RBI double. And now the Chaparrals lead 5-0 over the Minocqua Wood Ducks.
Next at the plate, number 9, Will Lee.
So it's Kurth at third now, and again, it's the double for Riley Bouchak, the 2 RBI double for Bouchak, and the Chaparrals now up 5-0. I think now we will have a pitching change for the Wood Ducks. So we're gonna take a quick break and be right back to resume the bottom of the 7th right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Really got to understand what what a nurse is. Do they focus on you? You know, do they make sure that you're comfortable? And, you know, that's what Shai has. It's the connection that he has, you know, my best interest in mind, always.
Why wait another day? Let's take the next step together towards a better life.
I had an employee once ask me to prioritize family, faith, and business, and I put them in that order in particular. For each one of our employees, it's family first. You do what is best for you and your family. Then the rest of it will take care of itself. It's about making sure you make the best decisions for you and your family.
Little Sprouts is now open in Rudolph with the same great childcare you know about in Auburndale. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
The community here in Rudolph has been extremely welcoming, and we're excited to serve here just like we do up in Auburndale. Part of the process is to help out the school districts and to help the children stay, their 4K children to stay close and get services right here. We serve here in Rudolph 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds, and up in Auburndale we serve 6 weeks old until 12-year-olds.
Our Auburndale pea pods, wiggle worms, busy bees, and fireflies welcome the Rudolph sweet potatoes, lovely ladybugs, and beautiful butterflies. Contact Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota Powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
first contact at Dental Clinic of Marshfield. Their dentists are committed to your individual attention and strive to provide personalized oral health care. They work hard to create the ultimate stress-free and comfortable dental experience. It is their mission to educate and provide the patients with the best dental care in Central Wisconsin. Whether you're looking for information on implants, teeth whitening, crowns, orthodontics, dentures, or any dental service, Dental Clinic of Marshfield has it for you. You can book your appointment online at dentalclinicofmarshfield.com or give them a call at one of their 3 locations in Marshfield, Stratford, or Neillsville today.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to resume play in the bottom of the 7th, as we do have a pitching change for Minocqua. It is Nate Hopkins coming out of center field to come in to relieve Josh Randolph. And his first pitch is a strike to Will Lee, now up to bat for the Chaparrals. And pitch 2 on the way, and that's another called strike. So it's Hopkins with back-to-back strikes thrown in his first 2 pitches. Again, coming into relief, and he is in quite the hole here to start out in the 7th, though. He's got the bases loaded with no outs. 2 runs have already been given up, and that one's grounded to second, and they'll take the throw at first. And my mistake, base is not loaded. We have runners at second and third. Misspoke. As they get the out at first.
Batting number 44.
So it's Will Lee grounding out.
Sean O'Connell.
4 out number 1. And now to the 8th spot in the order with catcher Sean O'Connell for the Chaparrals. He is 0 for 2 on the day. He has struck out looking, popped out to center, and walked in his 3 at-bats. And that's a called ball. So the first ball thrown for Hopkins. Number 57, the relief pitcher now for Minocqua. As the 1-0 count now to O'Connell with runners at second and third. 1 out. Pitch on the way. That one swung on, fouled back. Count now evens up at 1-1. So the 1-1 count with 1 out to Sean O'Connell. And the pitch on the way. That's low. That's ball 2. And another reminder to stay tuned for your Nasonville Dairy post-game show immediately following today's action, as we'll talk with Coach Wirtz of the Chaparrals. We'll also talk with winning player of Chaparrals as well, if the Chaparrals are able to hold this one off and win it. But no matter what, we'll be talking to Coach Wirtz, as that's a called strike. The count evens up now at 2-2. And also a reminder to check out the highlights of this game on Facebook later tonight, as that'll be up, I'd say a few hours after the conclusion of tonight's game. That's an inside pitch, and that's a ball, as the count now runs full to Sean O'Connell. So the full count with runners at second and third and 1 out to Sean O'Connell. Again, Hopkins, the left-handed pitcher. So a change up there for Minocqua, that little adjustment for the Chaparrals to make. As they go from the right-handed Randolph to now the left-handed Hopkins. Pitch on the way, and a check swing, and a wise check there as O'Connell is walked. And that'll take us to the 9th spot in the order, and the bases are again loaded, as we are to right fielder Garrett Huber now up to bat.
Next at the plate, number 7, Garrett Huber.
Huber's 0 for 3 on the day. He has popped out twice and struck out looking in his 3 at-bats. So again, the bases are now loaded with 1 out for Garrett Huber. As it's Kurth at third, Bouchak at second, and O'Connell at first, as the first pitch is a ball thrown to Huber. Pitch 2 on the way, and that one is swung on over to third, caught at third. Runners will have to stay put. Nice play made over there at third base by Dakota C. And that's out number 2 as Huber lines out to third.
Now batting
Now we're back to the top of the order with third baseman Isaiah Byrell. Byrell's 3 for 4 on the day. He's got 3 base hits and a ground out in his 4 at-bats. I still have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Pitch 1 is a strike on the outside edge for strike number 1. As the count is now 0-1 to Byrell. It's the 0-1 count, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. That's a big swing and a miss from Byrell, as it's more of a soft swing and a miss, I'd say, from Byrell there. As the count is 0-2 to Byrell with 2 outs, bases loaded. That's outside, that's ball 1. Count now 1-2 to Isaiah Byrell. Again, runners at first, second, and third. They're loaded. Pitch on the way. And that one fouled off as Byrell just stays alive in the count. Again, Marshfield already has put up 2 runs here in the 7th. They've extended their lead to 5-0. As Byrell faces the 1-2 count. And that's a low pitch and a called ball. So now the count evens up at 2-2. Byrell continuing to stay alive and have a good eye there at the plate. As Hopkins on the mound, he sets and he fires. That's low, that's ball 3. So now the count runs full to Isaiah Byrell, and Minocqua now in danger of walking in a run. And they will walk in a run. So Byrell is walked. And that is run number 6.
I think that's another insurance run for Ryan Fry, the insurance guy.
So it's Bouchak now at third, O'Connell at second, and it's Byrell getting walked and heading to first. And Marshfield has now been through their entire order now with center fielder Nathan Kromanocker up to bat. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He's got 2 base hits and 2 ground outs in 4 at-bats. As he'll have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Hopkins is looking to throw some strikes, and that is called a strike on a very low pitch. So the 0-1 count to Kromanocker. And that one inside for ball 1. It's always an interesting part of baseball is seeing what the umpire's strike zone looks like that day for each individual umpire. And that one fouled back at the plate for strike 2, as the count now 1-2 to Kromanocker. The bases loaded, 2 outs, and the 1-2 count to Nathan Kromanocker. And it's Hopkins on the pitch. That one grounded over to second, and throw to first is in time for out number 3 as Kromanocker grounds out. And that'll do it for the 7th inning, as Marshfield adds 3 more runs. Marshfield leads 6-0 heading into the top of the 8th. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Roof Tech LLC specializes in commercial roof coatings and spray foam. Roof Tech also services the entire state of Wisconsin. That's right, from La Crosse to Milwaukee, Eau Claire to Green Bay, Superior, Marshfield, Kenosha, Madison, Sheboygan, and everywhere in between. Roof Tech uses superior systems that can fully restore just about any roof in Wisconsin. Roof Tech is offering modern solutions for your roof's data dilemmas. See Roof Tech online at rooftechllc.com or Roof Tech LLC on Facebook. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to resume play here in the top of the 8th inning. As we got a nice crowd on hand here at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield, Wisconsin. Here with this matchup between the Marshfield Chaparrals and the Minocqua Wood Ducks. Marshfield up 6-0 here heading into the top of the 8th inning. Marshfield puts up 3 runs in the 7th. They've put up 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, and 3 in the 7th. And it is still Caleb Kromanocker out on the mound for the Marshfield Chaparrals as he has pitched a shutout thus far through 7 innings. Not only has he pitched a shutout, he's got 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. We'll see what he does here as we will be back to the top of the order for the Wood Ducks. As leading off for them is center fielder Nate Hopkins. Well, now the relief pitcher for the Wood Ducks. He started out in center field, and pitch 1 is a strike. No? Yes. As it looks like he went around. Hopkins looked like he went around there for strike 1. So it's the 0-1 count. Hopkins is 0 for 3 on the day. And he swings and fouls that one right back into the fence for strike 2. As again, he's 0 for 3 on the day is Hopkins. He's popped out, struck out, and grounded out in his 3 at-bats. So the 0-2 count pitch on the way, and that's just high for ball 1. And Kromanocker looking for his 11th strikeout now on the day. And pitch 4 on the way. That one popped up into deep left field and caught out there in left field for out number 1.
Now batting number 3.
As that was Riley Bouchak out there in left field making the snag. And now to the 2 spot in the order with the starting pitcher. He's now in center field, taking Hopkins' spot in center field, but it's Josh Randolph. My apologies. Josh Randolph up to bat as he's 2 for 3 on the day. He's got a double, a single, and he struck out swing in his 3 at-bats as pitch 1's the ball to Randolph. And pitch 2 on the way. That's one swung on, fouled back into the net. For strike 1, the count evens up at 1-1 to Josh Randolph. Again, we're just about a little over 2 hours of the way underway here. As that's a called strike. The 1-2 count. So again, be sure to stay tuned for the highlights of tonight's game. We'll have interviews and those exclusively in those Zaleski Sports highlights tonight on Facebook. As the count evens up at 2-2. Pitch on the way. That's low for a ball. No, a called strike. So a called strike there as Randolph strikes out looking, and that is strikeout number 11, I believe. It's getting hard to keep track here with Caleb Kromanocker. And that is strikeout number 11 for Caleb Kromanocker. And it's out number 2 here in the 8th. And now we're to the 3 spot in the order with shortstop Wally Augustine. Pitch 1's the ball. Augustine's 0 for 2 on the day. He's popped out, been hit by a pitch, and grounded out in his first 3 at-bats. That's a called strike. Now the count evens up at 1-1 to Augustine. So the 1-1 count to Augustine with nobody on and 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. And that one grounded over to third. It's grabbed. That's called foul. So a called foul there over to third. So the count now 1-2 to Augustine. So the 1-2 count, nobody on and 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Marshfield leads Minocqua 6-0. Pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss. And it's just a strikeout. So swing and a miss from Augustine there for out number 3. And it's 12 strikeouts now for Caleb Kromanocker, as that'll do it for the top of the 8th. Marshfield leads 6-0. We'll take a quick break and be right back with the bottom of the 8th inning right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Valley Communities Credit Union wants you to know that buying a home has never been easier.
With mortgage rates as low as 2.49% APR, financing your home has never been more affordable.
With Valley Communities Credit Union, we have low closing costs, local servicing, and underwriting.
We will make it simple and secure from beginning to end.
Call, click, or visit one of our 5 locations
And let our team show you why membership matters at VCCU.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and the Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love Home Furniture. West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the bottom of the 8th inning, and we do have another pitching change for the Minocqua Wood Ducks, as it looks like it is Trevor Roschewski getting the call. So it was Hopkins pitching 1 inning, but now it's Roschewski coming in to relieve Hopkins. As it looks like it is Randolph out in left and Hopkins resuming his spot back in center for the Wood Ducks. And it's Roschewski coming in to relieve on the mound. As leading off for the Chaparrals here in this inning will be Caleb Kromanocker.
Tonight's attendance, today's 19,359. Beautiful summer day. Thank you everybody for supporting Chaps baseball and all the Dairyland League baseball teams.
So again, it's Caleb Kromanocker leading off. He's 3 for 4 on the day. He's got 2 doubles, a single, and he's popped out once. And we know what he's done on the mound with those 12 strikeouts. As pitch 1 is a strike to Kromanocker. Pitch on the way, and another called strike. And Kromanocker quickly down 0-2 in the count. So the 0-2 count again. It's Roschewski on the mound in relief. Try and close things out, and that one's grounded over into right field, and it will get through the gap. So it's Kromanacker's 4th hit of the day in 5 at-bats. That'll take us to the 4th spot in the order with first baseman Luke Wirtz.
Now batting number 5, Luke Wirtz.
Roschewski sets, and he throws, and that's high and outside for ball 1. So now the 1-0 count to Wirtz. Wirtz reached on a fielder's choice, had a base hit, popped out, and walked in his first 4 at-bats. Pitch on the way, that's low for ball 1. No, called strike. So the count now evens up at 1-1 to Luke Wirtz. And the pitch on the way, that one swung on, hit down the first base line, foul. Now the count 1-2 to Wirtz. One-two count. It's runner stealing. That one hit out into deep left field. It will be caught out in left field. Wirtz got a hold of all of that. But that's out number 1 as he pops out to left field and out of the 5 spot in the order with second baseman Jason Kurth. Kurth singled, reached on an error, walked, and singled again in his 4 at-bats. So Kurth has been on base in all 4 at-bats here today. There's the pitch from Roschewski on the way, and that one's fouled back on pitch 1, and the count now 0-1 to Jason Kurth. So now the 0-1 count with a runner at first and 1 out to Jason Kurth. And a reminder to stay tuned for the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. We'll just have a quick recap of the game. We'll have the interviews on the highlights later tonight. Not on the live broadcast. We'll have the interviews on the highlights later tonight on Facebook. We'll have a quick recap of the game on the Nasonville Dairy postgame show as that one's fouled off, and the count now 1-2 to Jason Kurth. So the 1-2 count, runner at first, 1 out to Kurth. Pitch on the way. That one swung on, grounded to short. Throw to second in time, throw to first in time as well. So the double play to end the inning for out number 2 and 3. So Marshfield up 6-0 heading into the 9th inning. Minocqua will have one last chance here in the top of the 9th. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Dairyland League baseball right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, switch to US Cellular and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G, plus no activation fees. So you can stream, capture, and post without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Northside Computers is Marshfield's U.S. Cellular store. Visit us on South Central Avenue in Marshfield for the latest Samsung, Apple, personal cellular devices, tablets, and more.
Get a jump start on college or speed up your degree with a transferable class from Mid-State Technical College this summer. There are 130 classes to choose from, online or in person, taught by instructors who are experts in their field. Get info on the Mid-State Technical College summer classes at mstc.edu.
Keep moving ahead with the summer tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Center through July 2nd. Up to $150 in rebates on Goodyear tires with a Goodyear credit card subject to credit approval. The summer tire event at Sherrill Tire. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to start the top of the 9th inning. The Minocqua Wood Ducks down 6-0. They'll have one last chance, and it'll be Caleb Kromanocker with a chance to seal this thing out, pitch an entire 9 innings, and possibly get a 9-inning shutout for Kromanocker. But Minocqua will look to not allow that to happen and crush those dreams of Kromanocker to get the shutout. And it will be the 4, 5, 6 spots in the lineup for Minocqua to try and put some runs on the board. They'll have to put 6 on the board to keep this thing going. Again, leading off is right fielder Peter Arts at the 4 spot. Again, it is still Caleb Kromanocker out on the mound, looking to finish this thing off for the Chaparrals. And again, Peter Arts leading off. Pitch 1 is a ball to Arts. Arts is 1 for 2 on the day. He's struck out swinging, popped out to left, and had a double in his first 3 at-bats. It's the 1-0 count. That's going to be a strike. The count now 1-1 to Arts. The count even at 1 apiece. Pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss from Arts. And Kromanocker with those 12 strikeouts as well. And that's a called ball. Just misses there as he tried to put that on the low and outside corner. As the count now even at 2-2 to Arts. Kromanocker on the pitch. That one's high. That's ball 3. The count now runs full to Peter Arts. As Kromanocker looks for strikeout 13 of the day. And that one swung on out into left foul. As that would have been a beautiful hit. It was just a Maybe 10 feet or so to the right. Nonetheless, count remains full to Peter Arts. And the pitch. That one is going to be a base hit. Almost exactly what we talked about. It was just a little bit farther to the right there, and a fair ball. And it's a base hit for Peter Arts.
Next at the plate, number 2, Dakota C.
Now up to bat at the 5 spot, and the third baseman, Dakota C. C is 0 for 3 on the day. He's grounded out, popped out to center, and grounded out again in his first 3 at-bats. And pitch 1 is a strike to C.
Tuesday against Merrill. Who's our, what time? What? Tuesday, Merrill.
To the 0-1 count. Pitch on the way. That one swung on, grounded down the third base line, fair. So a fair ball for C. It's back-to-back base hits out into left field for Minocqua as they look to get things going here with the last chance effort here in the top of the 9th. And now up to bat at the 6th spot is catcher Danny Biertzer. Biertzer's 0 for 3 on the day. He's popped out and struck out twice. Runner at first and second. No outs for Biertzer. Again, Biertzer's 0 for 3. That one hits the outside corner for strike 1. Now the 0-1 count to Biertzer. Pitch on the way. That one shot out into right field. Another base hit for Minocqua as the bases are now loaded. It's 3 straight base hits to start the inning for the Wood Ducks as they are not going down quietly.
Next at the plate, number 29, Trevor.
As they look to squash the hopes of the Caleb Kromanocker shutout here as the bases are loaded with no outs for left fielder Trevor Roschewski. Roschewski's 2 for 3 on the day. He's got 2 base hits and a pop out. Pitch 1 on the way. That's low and outside for a strike. So the 0-1 count to Roschewski with the bases loaded and no outs. Pitch on the way. That one swung on and foul. So all it would take is one hit out into deep in the outfield for a run to score for Minocqua. And a called strike 3. So Roschewski strikes out looking, and it's strikeout number 13 for Caleb Kromanocker, and that brings up Zach Peterson, the first baseman, up to bat. And a swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. And this is the first inning of the day where Minocqua has had more than one hit in an inning. This is their first multiple hit inning, and another swing and a miss. So the 0-2 count as Kromanocker finds his groove once again after giving up 3 hits. Now a strikeout. Now it's the 0-2 count to Peterson. And that one swung on, hit out into left field, but foul. As Zach Peterson up to bat, he struck out in all 3 of his at-bats. He struck out swinging twice, looking once, and it's 0-2 the count to Peterson right now. Pitch on the way, and that one fouled back. Peterson stays alive in the count. Again, the bases are loaded with 1 out. Kromanocker trying to pitch the shutout. So we'll have to get Peterson out to take a step to do it. And the 0-2 pitch. A called strike once again. So back-to-back strikeouts makes 14 strikeouts now for Caleb Kromanocker as he is 1 out away from pitching a shutout. And he's got 14 strikeouts. He's got 6 just in these last 3 innings. And a swing and a miss on pitch 1. That's Sam Johnson. Now the 0-1 count. Pitch on the way. That's low and in the dirt. Nice play by O'Connell to make sure that doesn't get by him. Could have given up a run. As the count now even at 1-1 to Sam Johnson. But again, Kromanocker and the Chaparrals 1 out away from a shutout. Kromanocker with the 14 strikeouts. As that's low, that's a called ball. Now the 2-1 count to Johnson. Pitch on the way. That one swung on, popped up into the outfield, into right field. That's out number 3. So the Marshfield Chaparrals take down the Minocqua Wood Ducks, and it's Caleb Kromanocker pitching the shutout 9 innings and having 14 strikeouts in 9 innings. So we're going to take a quick break and be right back with the Nasonville Dairy postgame show right after this here on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only in central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parma, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda, Edam, and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
Welcome back, everybody, as the Marshfield Chaparrals take down the Minocqua Wood Ducks 6-0. And now it is time for your Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Nasonville Dairy has fresh cheese curds made daily. Be sure to head over to NasonvilleDairy.com. As Marshfield again takes down Minocqua 6-0. Quick runs breakdown. Marshfield scored 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third, and 3 in the seventh. As they pitch a shutout, as it's Caleb Kromanocker pitching a shutout in 9 innings of play and having 14 strikeouts. Kromanocker also at the plate was 4 for 5. He had 2 doubles, 2 singles, and a pop-out, but 4 for 5 for Kromanocker, and pitched a shutout with 14 strikeouts as the Marshfield Chaparrals knocked down the Minocqua Wood Ducks, as Marshfield gets the win. And that has been your Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Nasonville Dairy has fresh cheese curds made daily. Go to NasonvilleDairy.com. So from Myself, Cale Jacoby, alongside Jada Hamlin doing the production tonight. We say good night here on Zaleski Sports, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time here on Zaleski Sports.